Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Gibran. I'm joined by a very special guest, Sanj Surati here. And we're going to talk about a lot of great things regarding ISE. But before we get started, Sanj, just tell me about yourself and what you do.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thanks so much for bringing me onto this show. It's always a pleasure talking to you, always a pleasure working with the guys at Avixa and ISE. A little bit about myself. So I call myself a digital atelier. Ultimately, I'm an innovation consultant. I work predominantly within the fashion, retail, and entertainment spaces, particularly with new and emerging technologies. And some of those technologies are specific to live events and launches and things like that, hence where I've worked within the audiovisual space. I basically got into that industry because I was really interested in this relationship between human behavior and how it was changing in this new digital world that's still in its infancy. And so over the last 25 years, been working with new and emerging technology, predominantly with businesses that are interested in working with these technologies to engage with potential customers. And that's allowed me to be creative and artistic using these types of technologies. So I currently run a company called Tiger Heart, which is about 6 years old now. Just running as a consultant, as a freelancer, have a small team that I work with, and we deploy installations all over the world, all over US, the Middle East, all over Europe, Asia, Australasia. That's how we work.
That's amazing. And I gotta say, I love that name, Tiger Heart. It just sticks out, you know, it's really very unique.
So interesting you say, because people always ask that, like, so what is Tiger Heart about? Well, the ethos is, for me, I like, tigers are very rare, but also like really ferocious. And so what I try to do is kind of bring that into the projects we work on. A lot of what we deploy is very unique. And is, if you see the projects we work on there, they're usually quite rare and ferocious initiatives.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Great stuff. So going to Xchange Live, there's so many things that happen at Xchange Live every year. So tell us a bit about what Xchange Live is, and is there anything you would like to highlight when it comes to Xchange Live at ISE this year?
Yeah, a really important question. So I've been fortunate to work with Avixa for a couple of years now, specifically with the Xchange kind of initiative. And the idea really is the audiovisual industry is humongous. It's huge. It's very lucrative. Like, everyone in the world needs audiovisual systems, and it could be all aspects of the full spectrum of the industry, whether it's integration, whether it's visual arts, whether it's communications. It's huge. And just over the years, there's never really been a place where this community, which is, huge, passionate, creative, artistic, has never really had a place to kind of converge and discuss the challenges, the issues, and the things that are happening within that space. And so Avixa is invested in the Exchange for that purpose, is to get people to connect in an interesting way, because this industry, even though it is niche, it's huge, and whenever you speak within the space, it can get lost out there, into the interverse, so to speak. So that's what the Exchange is about. It's about having conversations, trying to find like-minded people, try to also challenge the perspective of, what audiovisual means to different communities around the world, and also to bring those communities together. And the Exchange Live is a big part of that, because, you can have a fantastic conversation online, but really where deals and ideas get developed and get driven is through face-to-face. And that's what the Exchange Live is about, is to bring those communities together and to have debates within this industry, not just about the challenges, but also about the breakthroughs. And I really enjoy it personally, because You get to see how these communities communicate about different types of things, whether you're talking about artificial intelligence, which is a buoyant topic at the moment, or about different territories around the world. So, for example, last year, there was a real big focus on Latin identity, not just in Europe, but also in the US, and where they meet and where also they get to kind of decide where they're different as well. And I found that really interesting because it educated me. But also you have some conversations about artistic expression. What we try to do is inspire the audience when they come to the Exchange Live, is not just go there to network, but also to listen and to hear, what's happening there at the moment.
Excellent. And we're very excited for Exchange Live. So everyone stay tuned for more updates about events and all that other stuff. So it's the 20th anniversary for ISE. It's just quite amazing how far this event has gone. So is there anything you're looking forward to at ISE this year? And then especially it being the 20th anniversary, what are some things you're excited about?
So really interesting question, because one thing I've noticed at ISE is that it's just grown dramatically year on year, particularly over the last 5 years. Last year was a real event because there was a real focus on artistic identity using audiovisual arts. The artist Rafiq Anadol was they really focused on him. And some of the exploration that he did over the last few years, particularly in Barcelona. But what I found out was, particularly last year, was that ISE is, it's not a European thing, it's a global thing. And the tone and the atmosphere there is very specific to how we integrate on a worldwide scale. And that conversation has grown dramatically over the last 5 years. So for it to kind of heat up into the 20th anniversary, I think it's a really important moment, because it's kind of like, for me anyway, ISE is kind of like the Olympics of the audiovisual space. So it's a real opportunity to have conversations about where audiovisual is going. It's a big opportunity for people to do deals, to actually meet people that they would never meet generally, and really have a frank conversation about how they can partner together or how they can collaborate together to amplify their reach throughout the world. So yeah, as it heats up to the 20th anniversary, I don't know. I mean, last year we had, I don't know if they've always attended, but we had I think it was the King of Spain or the Prince of Spain. I know it's an awful thing to say, but
yeah.
we had His Majesty, the King of Spain arrive at ISE to kind of formalize the opening of the event. So just from that, that kind of output a year ago to the 20th anniversary, I feel like we've got some special things that are going to occur. But don't forget also, some of the biggest audiovisual companies in the world are there. And for them to kind of really reaffirm their presence, it's their opportunity to do something spectacular at ISE at its 20th anniversary. So I think there's going to be some really exciting things that are going to occur. Whether it's a showcase of new technology or, these fantastic parties that occur, in the evenings in Barcelona, these industry parties that occur. I think there's going to be some crazy extravaganzas there.
Definitely. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a great, 20th anniversary. Definitely. So first timers, ISE is always growing, right? That means more people, new people are attending this amazing show. So what kind of, do you have any advice or tips for these first timers attending ISE?
Yeah, I think the first one is, and this particularly goes out to the territories that have never been to Barcelona before, is be prepared to be inspired, not just by what's happening at ISE, but also what's happening in Barcelona. The government there, the Catalonian government, really invests in making your experience at ISE in Barcelona something really special, because the Catalonian dialect, the community, the foods are very unique to Barcelona as Spain as a region. So make sure you invest some time in spending, doing a bit of sightseeing in Barcelona, because you'll be surprised. As I mentioned to you before, Gibran, Barcelona is one of my favorite cities in the whole world. Like I'm from London. London's incredible. Like, I've been to New York's amazing. Paris is amazing. Rome's amazing. Lots of fantastic places in the world. Barcelona is one of those destinations. You are in for a treat. Some of the best beer in the world, some of the best food in the world, some of the best art in the world, some of the most beautiful buildings in the world. So that's from a tourist perspective. Mm-hmm. Also, ISE is a very unique kind of event. And what I mean by that is, I was at Infocom earlier this year, which was incredible. I had a great time. And it's a very kind of, East American perspective of the AV industry, which is amazing because, obviously America as an AV space is very lucrative and there's a lot of great things happening over there. But you'll be surprised just how much of a gateway to the rest of the world ISE is, from an audio-visual perspective. There's lots of things happening on a biblical level, just like they happen at Infocom, but there's a different kind of tone, a different kind of artistic approach, which I think a lot of people that have never come to ISE before will get a lot of benefit from. So really make sure you open your eyes and make sure you're prepared, make sure you're rested to experience ISE, because it's huge. It's a huge event. I think it's like 5 halls, so much going on there. Make sure you're rested before you enter into the kind of jungle that ISE is.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jungle, definitely. Mm-hmm. So feeding on to your points earlier with places to go check out in Barcelona, I had that. I'm going to feed off of that question. Like, what are some great things to do, like during the show, after the show, or people come before the show? What are some places or attractions or maybe districts, people should go check out when they're in Barcelona?
Yeah, if you've never seen any Gaudi stuff, he was a genius from an artistic perspective, from an architectural perspective. Go and check out all of that stuff. It's quite, it's very unique, very unusual. There is, the food there is amazing, like Barcelonan food. Try and get into some of the small restaurants. It's always worthwhile booking. You'll be surprised people don't go out to eat until about midnight in Barcelona for dinner, and you'll turn up at these restaurants at like 10 o'clock and they'll be like dead, and then as it heats up to midnight they're like packed full of families. People will have their newborn babies there, and you'll be like, what the hell's going on?
Oh wow, yeah.
It's a really, really cool, just get some tapas, a couple of beers, or maybe a bottle of wine. It's wonderful. All different regions of Spain are very different, very unique, and the Catalonian culture and food is very interesting. The government there is really invested in making it a really comfortable place to travel around. Get on the metro and just start visiting some of these spaces around Barcelona. The Jewish district is really interesting because you get that Jewish and Catalonian influence put together.
Wow.
There's some really gorgeous Arabic parts of Barcelona. If you get down to the beach, people are playing volleyball there sort of midday onwards during the siesta time. It's a really good place to go shopping. Barcelona is a wonderful place. You'll love it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for all of these great tips and advice and insights into Xchange Live and ISE. We're very excited to see you there as well. And we hope everyone got some great information from this interview. And stay tuned for more interviews. And Sanj, thanks so much for joining us today.
No worries. Thanks so much for having me. And those of you listening, I'll see you at ISE at the Avixa Xchange live.
All right. See ya.